Hello everybody and welcome to this episode of TBoD Extra Points. I'm the Quim Ninja as usual and I'm joined by the wonderful, effervescent eremenko.
Hello everyone, a wonderful intro as ever.
Thanks, yeah, just totally made that one up on the top of my head, could you tell? So today's episode of TBoD EXP, whatever number it's going to be, I don't know why that rhymed. It's late. It's going to be all about Halo, specifically the trailers that came out with the hashtag Hunt the Truth. We had two trailers come out in the season finale of Walking Dead, and they came from two different perspectives. Do you want me to give a rundown of them before you comment?
Yeah, shoot.
Yeah, cool. So we got the release date for starters. It's going to be the 27th of October, so it's slightly out of the November window they usually have. But also, we had two different perspectives. It was the same trailer, essentially. There'll be a link in the show notes, I'm going to say, maybe. Yeah, otherwise, sure. Just Google it, Halo Hunt the Truth. But the first perspective was from Agent Locke, and basically he was walking through a ruined city, and he was talking, basically saying that, you know, is it all worth it, all the things that you've done and all the things that you've caused, and he was walking towards a statue of the chief, and then as he got closer you realise that the chief was actually at the foot of this statue with a hole in his shoulder, looking in pretty bad shape, and it ended with Locke raising his pistol to the chief, essentially looking like he's about to finish him off. I mean that in the least sexual way possible. The second trailer that came out was a complete role reversal of that. So it was John, and he was, you know, saying, you know, are you satisfied with all the kind of sacrifices you made? Was this worth it? And then he says, Spartan Locke, your mission has come to an end. Mine is just beginning. Yeah. And then he pulls out his pistol and aims the same, so it looks like he's about to, you know, polish off a Spartan Locke, and ended with hashtag Hunt the Truth. What are your thoughts on these trailers? A, about the content, B, about how they looked, and C, about the release date itself?
Well, they look great. They're live action trailers, aren't they? So they're very pretty, very shiny. I've seen a lot of memes and stuff kicking about of like, look at all the shiny graphics that won't be in the game. It's like, they're not graphics. That's real.
Yeah.
So yeah, I watched the first one and I was angry. It's like, fucking Locke. He's like a Spartan 4 or some shit. There's no way he can beat the chief.
Yeah.
Fuck that. And then I watched the second one. I was like, yeah, kick his ass, chief. So, you know, I mean, that kind of shows a little bit of my prejudices in the Halo series, and I think probably reflects a lot of what everybody feels about it, because, you know, we've played through all these Halo games as the chief, and, you know, all we've had of Locke is Nightfall, and, you know, a few little teasers, and I want the chief to win. I don't know if you agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, as far as what I took from it was that there's two different realities here going.
Sure.
Because, I mean, obviously looking at it, they've given you two different perspectives, the same setup, but the roles reversed. I saw a tweet a few days after from the Xbox official account saying, 1, John is dead, 2, Locke is dead, 3, one of these is true.
Okay.
So, and obviously that links into the hashtag Hunt the Truth. I don't really know which way they're going with it. I would think that John will survive, because you certainly wouldn't kill off Master Chief halfway through a trilogy. You know what I mean? Yeah, I wasn't quite sure what to make of it, to be honest. I mean, what did you take from it?
Well, I took from it that the chief is there. That I mean, I've been listening to the
well observed.
Yeah, I know. It's deep, isn't it? It's deep. I've listened to the prologue and the first episode of Hunt the Truth audio files as well
Okay.
from the Tumblr.
I've not checked those out yet.
They're really cool. I really like those. Basically, this reporter is digging around in the Chief's past and trying to uncover the truth of his past. And it feels to me, and I've said this in our hangout before, and I've discussed it with Walk a little bit. It feels to me like they're trying to lead it down the path of a smear campaign against the Chief.
Yeah.
Because maybe he's defected, or he's following his own personal mission, and Oni or whoever the powers that be are trying to smear his reputation and make him into a bad guy, so that he loses the support of the people, and that's going to discourage him or whatever. Because from the trailer that we saw a long time ago, E3 I think it was, it looks like Chief is going after trying to find maybe Bornsteller, the Erdidact.
Yeah.
And that sort of mission interferes with whatever it is that they're trying to achieve. So Locke's been sent to hunt him down. And I'd agree with you that they're not going to kill off the Chief. Like, the Chief is the bread and butter of the Halo series. If they do, it's a very brave move and an interesting one, because I don't think that since 343 took up the mantle, as it were.
Okay, yeah, I like it.
They haven't created any characters that are as well respected as the Chief is in the Halo lore, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I haven't watched all of Nightfall, so I don't know that much about Locke. And I think it's probably important to have watched that to be able to judge him as a character. But I've watched the first couple of episodes, and obviously didn't feel as strong a relation to him as I do to the Chief. But that makes sense,
Sure.
because we've been playing Halo games for 10
plus
12 years now,
yeah.
And loving every minute of it. So it's an interesting angle for them to take, but I feel like for us to be able to sit here and say they're not going to kill off the Chief is an easy answer. And it means it means that this whole idea of Hunt the Truth would be pointless. So maybe that's what they want us to believe, and they in fact are going to kill off the Chief.
No, I mean, to me, I view it slightly differently. I think that, don't get me wrong, I think that as pieces of media, for starters, they were great. I think they, had the Halo-y kind of feel to it. It made you want to know more, which is exactly what they wanted to achieve. But at the same time, if we were to take a step outside of just looking at the narrative and how it could pan out, Microsoft and 343 are not going to kill the Chief, because that is the only franchise which people really identify Xbox with. I mean, you could argue Gears of War, but Gears of War doesn't have a patch on Halo. Chief's Master Chief is the poster boy of Xbox. If you get rid of him, that's a really bad move for financially.
Yeah, but it could be symbolic, of the new direction that they want to take with Halo.
Yeah, but you can do that with spin-offs. You look at ODST, that was one. Look at Reach. You can do that within the universe without losing the Master Chief in the process. I think it's great as far as building a bit of drama, but when you actually think about it, they're not going to get rid of the Chief at this stage. I do kind of agree with you as far as the kind of smear campaign type of thing. There's been those whisperings that they're trying to make Chief look like a traitor, and we saw a little bit of that in Halo 4 when he kind of disregarded those orders, which was very out of character for him. And then we've obviously seen him off wherever he is in that teaser trailer with his little chip of Cortana, obviously looking for some kind of technology to help him bring her back to life. And obviously it looks like only want him back or want him dead. And they're obviously not going to get him back, because he looks like Master Chief is going to do what the fuck he wants. Yeah. So that's a severely lethal asset of theirs that's gone rogue. So I certainly think there will be some kind of power struggle between the two Spartans to see who comes out on top. And I mean, I can't see any other conclusion other than Chief will come out on top. I don't know whether he'll actually kill Locke. He may get Locke to see his point of view. But yeah, as far as the kind of trailers go, I think that it does certainly at least start getting you questioning, well, you know, how is this situation going to diffuse at least? I don't think it'll come to as a dramatic a head as the trailer suggests, but I do think that there'll be a lot of kind of posturing on how these things are going to go down within the actual game itself when it comes out.
And I think it raises interesting questions on, you know, who's going to side with who, you know, because from the extended fiction, we've already learned that some of the Spartan 2s are still alive. We know for a fact that the Spartan 2s are a hell of a lot more powerful than any of the other Spartans that came after. So the Spartan 3s are Spartan 4s. As we discussed on the podcast that we recorded earlier today, we know Jun's still alive.
Yeah.
He's part of the Spartan 3 program. Who will follow the Chief? You know, so you've got the likes of Fred and Linda and Kelly, who are his original fire team sort of thing. You can't see them turning on the Chief.
Yeah.
But then from the Kilo 5 series from Karen Travis, we've got Naomi, who is a Spartan 2 and who is clearly very much in the Oni
fold. Yeah,
absolutely. So she's going to side with them. And then, you know, it kind of raises questions about Halsey as well, because we know from the books as well that Halsey is, you know, being made out to be this war criminal by Oni as well, and sure, some of the stuff she did.
She's off with Jolam Dharma.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
you know, so you know she's completely rogue. Maybe Oni see, you know, John as a similar threat as Halsey because he was always her favourite.
Yeah,
and you know he always thought of her as a kind of mother figure.
And I don't think he's going to take kindly to the way that they're treating her as well, which is another reason why he could be defecting. You know, because he's got not just his relationship with Halsey, but his relationship with Cortana, who is essentially Halsey.
Yeah.
So it's all very incestuous.
Yeah, there are a lot of plates spinning here. I don't think it's as cut and dry as Locke's going to kill Chief or Chief's going to kill Locke, but it certainly at least symbolises that. Hello, Grimbot. It certainly at least symbolises that there is going to be certainly this power struggle within the UNSC and Oni hierarchy about who's going to fall on whose side. You know, if we look at a little later down the line, I mean, I think that all this kind of stuff will either be addressed in Halo 5, but I think more likely that we'll see it obviously come to a head in Halo 6, because we know they're making a trilogy. But it makes me think that just as, you know, before the Covenant came, mankind kind of had this civil war going on with insurrectionists, etc. I can see a kind of history repeating almost within the military structure with who falls on whose side, you know. Because, you know, John is, you know, we saw there's a statue of him. He's a kind of figurehead of the military, you know, a beacon of bravery and courage to millions.
The savior of mankind.
Yeah. And yet, according to one of those trailers, the destruction around them was his doing, or at least that's how they're painting it. Who in the military and who within the human kind of hierarchy is going to fall on what side may cause that kind of civil war again.
To escalate, yeah. True.
So there's all kinds of things that can happen with it. It's certainly interesting to think about on that kind of level. I just don't think it's as cut and dry as, you know, which truth is which out of both of those.
I mean, it certainly served to excite me for Halo 5, and I guess that's what they're going for. You know, it's put intrigue into me, and, you know, being involved in all the extended fiction and stuff as well as given rise to various theories in my mind, and I'm very interested to see where they take it from here. It's certainly piqued my curiosity.
Yeah. One theory I did hear, I think it was Ready Up Live actually. Nevin and co were talking about it. Was that perhaps the footage we're seeing is the propaganda that Oni's putting out, and one is what actually happened.
I like that. I
thought that was quite a cool theory. I don't know whether it was Rebel Rouser or Nevin that put that up, but yeah, I thought that was quite an intriguing idea that, you know, they might be painting John as a killer of his own, you know, in the form of killing Locke, whereas the report, so that would be what's reported. That's how I would see it. But the other way around, it could actually be that Locke killed Chief, but they'll spin it that Chief killed Locke, and thus then that's why they've subsequently killed him, but they just report it the other way. So, you know, there's all kinds of facets to it. It does certainly pique my interest to see what Halo 5 is going to bring. Whether it'll make me buy a Xbox One, I still am not sure, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
now, this is a separate topic, but
to play Halo 5. I know that I want to play Halo 5, but I'm not sure how much.
Yeah.
If I want to play it as.
Do you want to? Is it £300 you want to play Halo 5 or not? I mean, we'll see how good the marketing goes for this, because you never know. If they can put out a few more of these bad boys, we may find ourselves £300 shy.
Absolutely. And on a semi-related note, have you seen what's kicking about? If you ask Windows Phone's Cortana what the Halo series is about.
No.
So you say, Cortana, what is the Halo series about? And she comes back and she says, the Halo series is about an incredibly intelligent AI who saves the universe with the help of her strong but silent friend.
Brilliant. I like that.
Yeah. Super cheeky Cortana.
Yeah, that's good. So yeah, another little nod that, yeah, I mean, I would like to see Cortana come back.
Oh, definitely.
It'd be interesting to see how they deal with that. I know this is completely tangent and not quite on the point of the extra point, but I don't know, maybe they do resurrect her, but something's wrong with her. You know, just the same as like I don't know, like when someone is brought back from the dead or whatever, they're always a bit fucked up in films. A similar kind of AI thing could happen down that route.
But I think it would be really interesting to pit. I mean, anybody who's read this is sort of, you know, it'd be interest to you if you've read the Kilo 5 trilogies. But I'd really love to see like a full strength Cortana pitted up against BB.
Okay, yeah.
I think that could be a really cool battle.
Yeah, definitely. It might be related to the trailer, but obviously we saw all the destruction around the Chief. If that is the true reality there, do you think maybe that destruction was caused because of his dogged pursuit to get Cortana back? Maybe he drew some kind of Forerunner wrath, and it was focused on the city that was destroyed, perhaps?
That makes a lot of sense. But the Forerunners are already pissed off at humanity anyway, so you can't really blame him for that.
True, yes. Although he did kind of poke the hornet's nest somewhat.
Yeah, a little bit.
But there's all kinds of theories. We can't really settle on one at the minute. I'm sure we'll stew it over more and maybe talk about it at a later date on a podcast proper. But if any of you have any alternate theories that you'd like to suggest to us, we'd be happy to hear them and discuss them on another podcast later down the road. Just hit us up in the comments below, just below this video, or below this table they will be actually, just down here. Alternatively, you can tweet us at TBoD. If they're really short theories, you can email us at TBoD at Hotmail or Gmail. That'll do the job.
.com.
Yeah, or again, TBoD.com. Leave us a comment there. As I say, we welcome your theories on this. It's good to mull this stuff over and really dig into the universe, and that's what we want to hear from you.
It's quite nice to be back talking about our original bread and butter as well.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often, but I'm sure it'll happen a bit more in the lead up to Halo. So please sound off and let us know via whatever avenue you want what you think about these trailers. Anyway, thanks very much for reading, guys. See you soon.
Hoorah!